been so sick before that UCLA game. That's how sick she was. Clark!
Sharm has good size.
Clark steps into a deep three.
Do you believe you've witnessed true luxury? If so, think again, because the possessions of Caitlin Clark transcend every conventional notion of wealth you've ever imagined. Not just supercars, not just mansions. Rather, it's a distinctive, almost perplexing ecosystem of assets that leaves investors rubbing their eyes in disbelief, fans utterly captivated, and the media questioning its very reality. She doesn't merely live affluently, she redefines wealth itself through an entirely new language, sophisticated, incisive, and meticulously calculated. Every item, every habit, every expenditure of Caitlin's could prompt even a seasoned CEO to take notes and learn. And the most astonishing aspect, she's only 22 years old. If you consider fame to be merely a fleeting spotlight, observe how Caitlin transforms every shoe print, every trading card, every minute detail of her life into tangible, valuable assets with an influence that shatters all boundaries. This is no longer just a sports story. This is a multi-million-dollar interplay of talent, strategy, and a lifestyle unlike anyone else's. The Diamond 22 necklace, the luminous halo of a legend. When Caitlin Clark steps onto the court, bathed in the dazzling lights from a packed NBA arena, people aren't just captivated by her cinematic long-range shots, they're also mesmerized by a small, sparkling detail. It's a necklace adorned with 1,000 diamonds, explicitly featuring the number 22, a digit that has become the new emblem of modern women's basketball. This necklace isn't merely a piece of jewelry, it's a bold declaration, a courageous statement of status, resilience, and the unapologetic flair of one of the most promising young stars in WNBA history. The necklace was custom designed by GLD, a brand specializing in creating luxurious jewelry for hip-hop artists and professional athletes, with over 1,000 VVS diamonds, totaling 12 carats. It shimmers so intensely under the arena lights that many have suggested it might violate regulations. Fashion experts estimate the necklace's value to range from $35,000 to $50,000 depending on the quality of the stones and the craftsmanship. Not many athletes, especially female athletes, are willing to wear an asset worth a luxury car around their neck at public events, let alone during games. But Caitlin Clark is different. She wants people to see the fruits of her labor, to witness the journey from a young girl in Iowa who honed her skills on cold high school courts, to the brightest star in NCAA history and now the undeniable focal point of the WNBA. The prominence of the 22 necklace isn't solely about aesthetics. When Caitlin began appearing with it in behind-the-scenes videos of the WNBA draft and commercial events, social media quickly divided. Some praised her distinctive personality and her elevation of self-worth, comparing it to how LeBron James or Steph Curry have done. However, many also opined that she was putting on a show too soon, before truly proving herself in the professional environment. Netizens pointed out that the WNBA is a league where veteran players have fought in silence for years without needing flashy accessories. But that's precisely what sets Clark apart. She doesn't wait for permission to shine. She creates her own spotlight. The number 22 on the necklace isn't just a jersey number. For Caitlin Clark, it represents an entire journey. This number is intrinsically linked to her illustrious collegiate career at the University of Iowa, where she shattered the NCAA's all-time scoring record, surpassing even legendary figures like Kelsey Plum, Breanna Stewart, and even Pete Maravich. Caitlin once recounted that she chose the number 22 to honor her grandfather, who inspired her love for basketball from a young age. He was the first to buy her a hoop attached to their garage door. He always believed I could achieve anything, she shared in an ESPN interview. The necklace, therefore, is more than just an ornament. It's a reminder of her past, of those who helped her transcend stereotypes. And now, it's a colossally valuable commercial symbol. As Caitlin is estimated to earn over 3.1 million USD solely from endorsement deals in her first year in the WNBA, far exceeding most of her peers. Caitlin Clark is doing what many female sports stars before her have avoided. She isn't apologetically showcasing her financial success. In a world where female athletes are often constrained by modesty standards, Clark is gradually changing the narrative. She dresses boldly, wears gold, silver, and diamonds like her male counterparts, and makes no apologies for it. The story of the 22 necklace is thus not just about material possessions. It's a silent declaration of female empowerment, an assertion that a female athlete's success can and should be celebrated with diamond brilliance if she so chooses. The gold Rolex, unparalleled class at every hour. When discussing wealth in the sports world, people often envision supercars, mansions, or multi-million-dollar contracts. But in Caitlin Clark's world, unmistakable class is encapsulated on her wrist, where she wears one of the planet's most iconic luxury symbols, a gold-adorned Rolex Lady Datejust, featuring a mother-of-pearl dial and diamond embellishments. This isn't merely a watch. It's a mobile manifesto of status, impeccable taste, and the subtle power of a rapidly ascending sports star. Caitlin first captivated social media when she appeared with the solid gold Rolex Lady Date just in a private event in Indianapolis. Shortly after joining the Indiana Fever, with its natural mother-of-pearl dial, diamond-set bezel, and signature Jubilee bracelet, the estimated value of the watch ranges from $19,000 to $25,000 excluding personalized options. Remarkably, this watch did not come from a sponsorship deal. It wasn't a gift from a brand, nor was it a borrowed item. Caitlin purchased it herself. And according to insiders, it was a self-reward immediately after finalizing endorsement deals with State Farm and Gatorade, elevating her total personal income to over $3.1 million in just 12 months, surpassing the combined average salaries of the entire Indiana Fever team. In women's sports, the appearance of a Rolex often carries multiple layers of meaning. Beyond being an expensive accessory, a Rolex symbolizes financial autonomy, something female athletes have historically fought tirelessly to achieve. Caitlin Clark's decision to wear a Rolex so early in her professional career unsettled some within the industry. Some commentators suggested she was over-commercializing her image before truly proving herself in the league. On Reddit, one user sarcastically remarked, "Is she already thinking she's Serena after just a few points?" But considering the sheer volume of her jersey sales, the number of tickets fans purchased just to watch her play even on the road, and the multitude of brand contracts she signed in less than 9 months, it's clear Caitlin doesn't need anyone's validation for her success. The Rolex speaks volumes. Few are aware that after images of Caitlin Clark wearing her Rolex circulated online, several other luxury brands, including Cartier, Omega, and Bulgari, began approaching her representatives, according to an anonymous sports fashion journalist. A renowned brand once offered a sponsorship deal with a clause prohibiting wearing Rolex in public if Caitlin agreed to an exclusive image rights contract, but she declined. The reason, according to a member of Caitlin's team, she believes young women in sports deserve to wear whatever they desire. No one should tell them what to wear, how to dress, or when they are allowed to shine. Another intriguing aspect that makes Caitlin's Rolex special, she wears it not only for parties or events. It's not kept in a display case, not carefully stored away for fear of scratches. It's an integral part of her daily life. This reveals a distinct difference in Caitlin's lifestyle. Wealth doesn't need to be discreet. It needs to be timely, appropriate, and in exquisite taste. She doesn't conceal her success, isn't ashamed of her wealth, and doesn't hesitate to express herself through fashion, a powerful message in a female sports environment often constrained by the stereotype of being modest, being humble. Caitlin Clark isn't the first female athlete to wear a Rolex, but she is the first to transform it into an integral part of her personal brand from the moment she entered the professional arena, with every appearance alongside the timepiece. She's sending an unspoken message: women in sports can be talented, wealthy, and stylish, and they don't need anyone's permission to showcase it. Prada and Cartier. The red carpet had to take notice. People were accustomed to seeing Caitlin Clark in her game uniform, wore Nike shoes from thousands of three-pointers, and her piercing gaze whenever she stepped onto the court. But that evening, on the red carpet of the A Year in Time event hosted by Time magazine, everyone was stunned. No longer the unassuming college basketball star, Caitlin glided through the camera flashes in a magnificent black gown from the fashion house Prada, her wrist adorned with an exquisite Cartier bracelet and her neck sparkling with a light box diamond necklace. She was no longer just an athlete. She was a living declaration: I play ball, and I am an icon, and I don't need anyone's permission to do so. That Prada gown, according to fashion connoisseurs, was valued at approximately $4,300, custom-tailored to Caitlin's measurements, and part of a collection that had not yet been widely commercialized. The mere fact that Prada chose a female athlete rather than an actress or model to showcase their attire was a profoundly impactful statement. In WNBA history, no player had ever been selected by such a high-end Italian fashion brand to appear at such a major media event. And that was just the surface. Caitlin also wore a Cartier Juste un Clou white gold bracelet valued at $67,000, a Prada ring worth nearly $1,800, along with a necklace and earrings totaling over $8,000 from Lightbox Jewelry, an emerging fashion brand with designs exclusively for successful young women. In total, the ensemble Caitlin wore that night alone was worth approximately $100,000, exceeding the season's salary of most WNBA players. Fans marveled, the press hailed her as the new face of power dressing. But like an old rule in women's sports, when a young woman is wealthy and dares to express herself, criticism will arrive as swiftly as her own three-point shot. On social media, polarizing comments appeared in abundance. Some former athletes even indirectly mocked her. In a sports podcast, a former WNBA star sarcastically quipped, "Our generation just wished for shoes that fit, let alone dreamed of collaborating with Prada." But the little-known truth is Prada itself proactively approached Caitlin Clark, and not after she entered the WNBA, but while she was still a senior at Iowa, according to a close source. Prada had been observing Caitlin when she began breaking NCAA scoring records. The allure of her image as a three-point assassin with a baby face and an unmistakable demeanor resonated with the Italian brand's ambition to elevate the image of powerful, yet feminine women to the forefront. And even more remarkably, Caitlin was not pressured to wear anything she disliked. Her stylist revealed, "Caitlin is very clear. She wants to look both fashionable and authentic to her athlete who came up from the practice court roots, not artificial, not forced into femininity as others might define it." Thus, behind the $4,300 gown wasn't just luxurious satin fabric, but a subtle battle between outdated prejudices and newfound freedom. Unlike many other stars, Caitlin doesn't conceal her wealth. She doesn't apologize for her success, and certainly doesn't need anyone's permission to dress beautifully or wear diamonds, in a context where women's sports are often confined by the stereotypes of being modest and making sacrifices. Caitlin's stride on the red carpet felt like a refreshing gust of wind blowing away the triviality. She compelled the red carpet to take a step back, allowing sports to advance, brilliant, elegant, and uncompromising. That event was not simply a PR moment. It was a direct message women in sports not only deserve equal pay, but also deserve high fashion, sparkling diamonds, and everything that men in the same industry have long enjoyed. The Clark Edition. Kobe shoes, golden feet. Potent weapons. For many, shoes are merely accessories. For athletes, they're tools of the trade. But for Caitlin Clark, a prodigious star reshaping women's basketball, shoes are a powerful symbol. They're an identity, a resounding declaration, and the special Kobe 5 Protro Edition, exclusively designed for her, stands as the most vibrant testament to this truth. When Nike officially released the limited edition of the legendary Kobe 5 Protro line, custom-made for Caitlin Clark, the sports world erupted. This was far more than a commercial handshake. This marked the very first time a female basketball player was granted the extraordinary privilege by Nike to launch a colorway bearing her name, built upon the foundation of a true legend, Kobe Bryant. A rare distinction, seldom achieved by anyone in basketball, male or female. The shoes feature the distinctive red, black, and white hues of the Indiana Fever team, with Clark meticulously embroidered on the heel. On launch day, Nike released precisely 22,000 pairs, symbolizing her jersey number. They sold out completely in under 17 minutes. Resale platforms like StockX, GOAT, and eBay were immediately inundated, with prices skyrocketing from an initial $160 to over $1,000 in just a few hours. A select few autographed pairs even fetch prices exceeding $8,000. One pair of shoes, yet it encapsulates an entire brand strategy, a powerful statement of influence, and even an unprecedented significant debate within the WNBA community. For Caitlin Clark, this was more than just a commercial event. It was a cherished part of a dream realized. Since high school, she has revered Kobe Bryant as an icon, beyond mere admiration. Caitlin was profoundly influenced by the Mamba mentality philosophy. She once recounted the emotional moment when Kobe reposted a video of her playing on social media in 2020, accompanied by his insightful comment, "This kid has the composure to make the last shot." To Caitlin, that wasn't just encouragement. It was a sacred imprint from the person she considered the ultimate ideal for her career. When Kobe Bryant passed away, she quietly wore a black ribbon embroidered with 24, Kobe's jersey number, discreetly beneath her uniform in every game. No grand gestures, no fanfare, just a silent, enduring tribute that spanned 3 NCAA seasons. Thus, when Nike proposed this special edition collaboration, Caitlin presented a singular condition: "I want Kobe's name to remain on the tongue of the shoe, because these are the shoes of 2 generations, one who paved the way, and one who is continuing the journey." However, the resounding success of these very shoes plunged Caitlin into a fierce reign of controversy, not from the public, but from her fellow female basketball players. Many seasoned players expressed their discontent. Some openly suggested that Caitlin hasn't achieved anything in the WNBA beyond just being famous. Others frankly stated on podcasts, "We fought our whole lives for the right to choose the shoes we want. And she gets a version named after her after just a few weeks." The online community also divided into factions. One side lauded Clark as a new icon, the one who dramatically boosted WNBA viewership to record levels and brought the league national attention. The other criticized Nike for inflating the brand and transforming basketball into more of an entertainment spectacle than an athletic arena. But amidst all the discourse, Caitlin remained silent. She continued to step onto the court in her signature shoes each game, sometimes the commercial release, sometimes exclusive versions not available to the public. She quietly let her shots, the roaring cheers, and her clutch three-pointers provide all the answers. In an interview with ESPN, When asked, "What moved you most when you first put on the Kobe X Clark shoes?" Caitlin smiled and responded, "It wasn't about the price, not about the brand. It was the moment I felt that 10-year-old kid who used to dream in her backyard had truly come this far." We can debate the commercialization of sports, media favoritism, or Caitlin Clark's meteoric rise to fame. But one truth remains undeniable: she is living her passion authentically and is poised to transform every shot she takes, every pair of shoes she wears, into history. The Grand Residence and Vehicle Collection. Beyond the unimaginable three-pointers, beyond every packed arena where people gather just to watch her play for a few minutes, lies another world. A world where Caitlin Clark lives with the absolute freedom of someone who is not only exceptionally talented, but also understands how to leverage success to create lasting value for herself. Her home, nestled in a tranquil suburb, just minutes from downtown Indianapolis, is unassuming, without prominent signs or flashy lights. Yet inside, every element is designed as a subtle declaration of sophistication and astute investment thinking. Floor-to-ceiling glass doors open to a private garden featuring an infinity pool. The living room, adorned with Scandinavian gray wood, is minimalist yet refined. On the walls hang abstract paintings, not by renowned artists, but works she personally selected from emerging female artists. "This is the first house I bought myself, and I want it to truly reflect who I am, not an image others assign to me," she once shared in a video. This residence, unofficially valued by interior design experts who have collaborated with Caitlin's media team, is estimated at over $2 million. More importantly, it represents the initial stride in Clark's strategy, building robust financial stability through tangible assets, especially as her endorsement income now substantially surpasses her WNBA salary. Unlike many other stars who collect vehicles as a lavish pastime, Caitlin carefully curates each one. The pearl white Range Rover parked directly in front of her home is a personal gift she acquired after signing with Nike, not for ostentation, but to serve as a daily reminder of the journey she has traveled. But that is merely the beginning. In her private, climate-controlled garage sits a Porsche Taycan 4S, a luxurious German electric vehicle, valued at approximately $120,000, customized in the striking black, white, and red color scheme of the Indiana Fever. What's particularly notable is that this isn't a sponsored vehicle. It's Caitlin's deliberate choice, a move that clearly embodies the mindset of a Gen Z athlete who is environmentally conscious, technologically savvy, and possesses a keen aesthetic sense. Alongside it is a midnight blue Mercedes GLC 63 AMG, a sporty SUV designed for those who desire both exhilarating driving performance and practical comfort for daily commutes. It's a vehicle that is both distinctive and perfectly suited for a demanding game schedule and numerous media engagements. The total estimated value of her current vehicle collection is around $300,000, but perhaps for Caitlin, these vehicles represent more than just material worth. They symbolize the freedom of choice, a privilege not easily afforded to all female athletes, even at the peak of their careers. When a 22-year-old woman, fresh into her professional league, owns a multi-million-dollar residence, a personalized vehicle collection, and maintains meticulous control over her personal finances, one might feel a pang of envy. Yet, it's undeniable this is a well-deserved outcome for someone who is not only exceptionally talented, but also keenly aware of her trajectory and what she needs to establish beyond the fleeting spotlight. In the world of women's sports, where not everyone is fortunate enough to garner attention and investment, Caitlin Clark has not only seized opportunities, she is proving herself worthy of maintaining them and discerning how to transform them into something that will endure far beyond her playing career. Caitlin Clark doesn't deny that she is living comfortably, but she also doesn't use luxury to mask anything. On the contrary, every decision, from purchasing her residence and curating her vehicle collection to collaborating with her personal stylist, is an integral part of a long-term plan to become the first female athlete to build a robust personal brand empire. Truly a superstar in every sense of the word. And in a realm of women's sports often constrained by an unspoken expectation of humility, this is not only unobjectionable, but genuinely admirable. The autographed Panini card. A card becomes $1 million declaration. Basketball enthusiasts have witnessed Caitlin Clark sink three-pointers from mid-court with an ice-cold composure as if she had done it 1,000 times before. But perhaps they never imagined a tiny card featuring her image, no bigger than the palm of a hand, could be traded for the price of a luxury sports car. In April 2024, a Panini Prism WNBA 2023 card, bearing Caitlin Clark's authentic autograph, was successfully traded for a staggering $78,000 just weeks later. Another specimen, also from the Panini series, but an exceptionally rare gold refractor version. Limited to only 10 copies worldwide, shattered records again, selling for $84,000. This wasn't merely a record price for a female athlete's sports card, it was a resounding declaration from the global collecting market. Caitlin Clark is not just an athlete. She is a cultural icon, being valued in an unprecedented manner. To many outsiders, collecting sports cards might sound antiquated, a nostalgic childhood pastime from the 90s. But for professional investment collectors, this market is a genuine financial universe where the value of a single card can multiply tenfold, even 20-fold, after just one successful season. Caitlin Clark entered that world like a phenomenon. Despite being a rookie, a newcomer to the WNBA, her cards were fiercely sought after even before she signed her professional contract. Panini, the world's leading sports card manufacturer, swiftly launched a special collection exclusively for Caitlin just months after she joined the league. Each card is marked with a limited serial number, bears her hand-signed autograph, and is encased in a UV protective plastic holder. Some cards even feature a fabric swatch cut from Caitlin's actual game-worn jerseys from notable NCAA matches, an element that elevates their collectible value to unimaginable heights. Behind every six-figure transaction, two parallel forces are at play. On one side are the fans, those who spend money out of their admiration for Caitlin, wanting to possess a piece of unparalleled sports history. On the other side are the investors, those who view Clark's cards as assets capable of appreciating significantly in value in the future, much like Michael Jordan's cards, once bought for a few $100s, now command millions. And it is precisely at this intersection between passion and profit that Caitlin Clark's value is solidified in an uncomplicated way. A spectacular shot on the court can increase the value of hundreds of cards in the real world. However, Caitlin's success in the sports card market has not been without controversy. Many opinions suggest that inflating prices so highly for a rookie new to the professional league is a sign of speculation, not a true reflection of intrinsic value. Some criticize Panini for capitalizing on Clark's popularity by releasing too many card variations, leading to price volatility. Even during a sports commentary program, a former athlete frankly stated, "I don't deny Clark's talent, but when an autographed card of hers costs more than LeBron's or Steph Curry's, we need to reevaluate what this market is truly chasing, basketball or a media bubble." Yet, despite all the arguments, the reality remains: demand for Caitlin Clark cards has not diminished. Online auctions continue regularly. Cards featuring her image are consistently traded at sky-high prices, and people are beginning to see the emergence of a financial ecosystem revolving around Clark, where everything from shoes and jerseys to a tiny card can become a profitable investment. In basketball, scores measure ability, but off the court, an athlete's value is no longer solely about achievements. It's about their ability to make others believe, desire to possess, and invest in their every moment. Caitlin Clark, with her $84,000 card, is achieving this in an unprecedented way. Not through scandal, not through controversy, but purely through her name, her smile, and the chilling precision of the three-pointers she executes from midcourt. And when you can transform a small piece of paper into an asset, then clearly, you're not just rewriting women's basketball history. You're redefining how true value is perceived in a modern-day superstar. At an age when many are still finding their way, Caitlin Clark has established a new benchmark for a generation of young athletes, not only on the court, but also in how she lives, spends, and creates enduring value for herself. Her wealth isn't merely in her bank balance to us, but in her remarkable ability to control the game in every facet of her life. Amidst a sports world once constrained by gender biases and subtle discrimination, Clark emerges as compelling proof that talent, resilience, and strategic acumen can coexist within one individual and can be equally celebrated. She is not merely a star. She is a powerful trendsetter, and if she continues on her chosen path, the world will remember Clark not only for her shots but also for the profound way she has transformed every limit that once existed.